Hey everyone, it's Gina K from Gina K Designs and welcome to Stampin' Chat. I'm so excited to have you all here from all over the country and all over the world. I'm looking at some of the comments already and I see some of you are in the middle of the hurricane, but you're still hanging in there with us tonight. So I just want you guys to know that we are praying for all of you down in the path of the hurricane. For sure, stay safe and stay inside. Welcome to everybody. What a day, huh? Every day is something. I had one of those days today, and I'm sure just like a lot of you where, I tried to stay away from the news. I actually went out into my backyard today and I planted tulip bulbs, daffodil bulbs, crocus, and some hyacinth bulbs. So this is the right time of the year in Wisconsin to get the bulbs in. It's going to freeze soon enough. And then in the spring, hopefully, I'll have some pretty flowers coming up. But I needed to do that. I needed to get out there and I needed to see sunshine. And there's still some birds chirping out there. And I really needed to look for some hope. Right now, hope is not always easy to feel, right? We all kind of are a little nervous about the way things are going these days. But hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. And it's knowing that even when the sun goes down, the stars will come out. And so hope is kind of my theme tonight. Tonight, I hope that our live goes well, that we don't have any sound issues, we don't have any camera issues, and that my project works the way I intend it. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm going to do it live with you guys tonight. So tonight, I'm going to be using the brand new Sparkle and Shine stamp set. And I do want to tell you a little bit about this, this situation here. You guys know that we had a kit. We ordered 3 times as many kits as we normally order. Did take several days for the kit to sell out. So we felt like we did okay with ordering, but we still know a lot of you really like these stamp sets. We want you to know that we have ordered these, all the stamp sets for the kit, all of the dies for the kit, and the new stencil. And as soon as they hit our warehouse, we are going to put them back in stock so that you guys have plenty of time to get your hands on them and plenty of time to make Christmas projects. So if you didn't get these yet, they're on the way. They're going to be here soon. We actually have 2 batches. We have one batch that's going to be here fairly soon, and then a second batch that's going to be in about 2 weeks after that. So tonight, instead of using holiday tapestry like I've been using for the last couple of card projects, I decided to use the Sparkle and Shine set. I love this set. I love these split images where you stamp it all as one image, so you don't have to worry about lining it up. But it has this opening here where you can choose from any one of these strip sentiments or strip sentiments that you have in your collection. You can add those in there as well. Now, one thing I did want to let you know is that the Master Layouts 3 has a little flag that is the perfect size to go right over the center of these designs. So if you are, you don't want to stamp in the middle, you'd rather do it on a flag and have it kind of pop up, it will fit every single one of these greetings. So this is available. We have more Master Layouts 3 on the way too. We know that one sold out pretty quickly. Our kits are available worldwide. Anybody can purchase them anytime we have a kit that comes out. This kit has sold out, but we are going to get all the individual sets and dies, so you'll be able to buy them a la carte. This way you can pick and choose exactly what you want. Okay, so tonight I'm going to use this snowflake image to do a card. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make 2 cards at one time. So 2 of the colors that are in the kit are the red velvet and also fresh asparagus. So what I did here is I cut 2 panels that measure 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. Now you could also cut these out using the Master Layouts dies, the Master Layouts 2 die set. That would work for this technique as well. I just cut them out by hand. I'm not even sure if this is going to work, but we're going to see what happens together. I'm keeping hope alive. Hope is alive here. So I'm going to start with the fresh asparagus one. And I'm just welcoming everybody as they come in. Hey guys, I see you all coming in. Let me know where you're coming from. Hope you guys had an okay day. And if not, I certainly hope that this helps to brighten that day for you, our little live here tonight. So I used a little embossing magic over that piece of cardstock. And again, this is cut about 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inches. I'm going to just put the magnet there and hold that down. Now I'm going to use this big snowflake image. And the way I want to use it, I'm going to put it here and then I'm going to lay it out to see how it looks. So I want to make sure that's straight and centered. And that looks pretty good. It looks pretty straight and pretty centered. Then I'm going to use this ornament topper and I'm going to just lay it kind of where I will put it when I stamp it. I'm going to actually move it down a little bit. So I'm not going to leave this here. I just kind of want to see how it all lays out. And then I'm going to place this image on top. So that's going to work out just fine. So I'm doing a big ornament here. I could actually move all of this down just a little bit, maybe right about there. And I'm going to stick my head in the way for a second. Ooh, okay, I just want to make sure that's really straight. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And then this is going to go on top. Yeah, I think that'll be good. So I'm going to, of course, I have to play with it a little more because I'm never satisfied. Sometimes you just have to give up and just do it. So what I'm going to do now is I took these other elements, the string for the ornament and the ornament topper off. I'm going to put those aside for now. And I'm going to start by stamping this image. So I'm going to get some Versamark ink. And I'm going to stamp this with Versamark. And this is a brand new stamp. I haven't used this one yet, but because I'm using Versamark, I don't think I'm going to need to rub my finger all over it to condition it. I think it's going to be okay. We'll see. And then again, I want to make sure that this is really tucked into that corner. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp it. And I need my Chucky tool. So I'm going to use my Chucky tool to rub all over the surface here. Okay. And for those of you that are new and you don't know what a Chucky tool is, I'll give you the quick 50-cent tour. This is a curtain finial with a furniture protector pad, and it was glued together with Gorilla Glue. My friend Chuck Meadows made this for me, so we call it the Chucky tool. And it really helps me get pressure onto my image. All right, so let's see if we have a good enough image here. Probably should have conditioned it, but I'm going to use some gold fine detail embossing powder and we'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look like there's enough, I'll flip it over and do the other side, or I'll cut another one. But I think that's going to be pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to emboss that. And this is the Gina K Designs Fine Detail Gold Embossing Powder. So it doesn't look like much now, but when I emboss it, the gold gets very bright and you're going to be able to see it well. So I'm just heating up my heat tool a little bit off of like away. I want it to get nice and hot. This way I don't have to actually hold the heat tool very long on this for it to emboss. All right, so here we go. I'm going to emboss this. And it should come up pretty quickly. I love this image. I love all these images. It's so fun to be able to make them into ornaments. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now you can see how pretty that is in gold. That looks like it's a snowflake, but it looks a lot like a mandala too. I love this. It reminds me of Rena's Mandala Maker set. All right, so I'm going to put that aside, and now I'm going to get my red piece in there, and I'm going to do the same thing. So this is a great way to mass produce cards. You have this design already set up, so you don't really have to, you know, make the rest of it. You could do 10 cards in a row this way if you want. So I want to try it on the red here. All right, got my Versamark. And again, I want to make sure that that's tight into that center spot. And I'm going to stamp it again. And welcome, everybody. I see people coming in still. Some of you are just getting home from work. And dinner will have to wait, right? It's pizza night. Monday night's pizza night, and Wednesday night is Chinese. And then the rest of the week you can cook. Just spend it with me crafting Monday and Wednesday. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Again, I'm going to get this out of here so it's not in the way. Okay, so blow the excess away. I'm going to heat this as well. Gold embossing powder, unfortunately, they're really behind at the manufacturing level, and it's looking like it's going to be at least 30 days. We've been begging all of our manufacturers to hurry up, but they're all so behind. And one of the reasons that they're so behind is because everybody is, you know, they have less people in at the same time at work because of COVID. And they're also trying to, social distance at work. And then also, I think it's just a lot of the sanitation that all of the companies, including ours, what we're doing in between, packaging and different things, it makes everybody stop and slow down. And everybody's working with masks, so that becomes a little bit more cumbersome. So we like to give people more breaks. So things just slow down a little bit right now. Okay, so that's the snowflake image. Now the next image I'm going to use is the snowflake topper. I'm going to do a little topper. So I'm going to snug this into the corner there. And then I'm going to put my topper right there. So I'm kind of using that little dot. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this a little better. So I'm kind of using that little dot right there. And there's a little scallop here, and I'm putting that right over the dot. And that's how I'm going to know that my topper is centered. Of course, let me put this down because I can't do anything while I'm holding that. But that's how I'll know that it's fairly centered that way. Okay. All right. That just popped up. Okay. All right, so let's see how that looks. So now I'm going to use some Versamark on that as well. You know what I am going to do though? I'm going to put a little embossing magic on that again because I've been touching it, and I did put a little lotion on my hands. I got a really nice new lotion from Rena. Rena suggested an Aveda hand lotion. And I really like it. Okay, so I moved that, but I had already stamped it, so it's going to be just a little off, but I think it's going to be fine. Not too bad. And let me grab my little piece of cardstock here, and we'll put some embossing powder over the topper, and that's going to make that little dot disappear once I emboss it. So let's do that next. Okay, my gun is nice and hot, so I shouldn't have a problem. There we go. So now that is an ornament. That's so fun. Yeah, so I know a lot of you are saying, oh my gosh, I placed my order on October 19th, and I don't understand if you guys can do, 300 to 400 orders a day. Shouldn't we be well past the 19th? We should be, but we're not, because honestly, we got probably, I don't know, close to 2,500 orders on the first day of our release. So that's why it's taking so long to get past the 19th. It was a really, really busy release. So things moved a lot more quickly after that, after everybody kind of rushed in and got their kit and got their stamps that they wanted. Then the rest of the days started moving a lot more quickly, but the 19th is a big choke for us. The 19th and the 20th are just taking a long time to get through. But our staff is amazing, and they are working so hard. We have to yell at them because they don't even want to take breaks. They don't even want to take lunch because they worry so much about getting everything out to you guys. And we do too, but we also understand that, there are so many orders in the system, and we know how understanding you guys are too, and we appreciate that. Okay, so there's the red. I'm kind of loving the red, but it's kind of fun, the green too. It's nice to have both, right? Love it, love it, love it. Yes, you could definitely use perfect pearls and get that little bit of shine, a little bit of shimmer with the perfect pearls. Okay, so now I'm going to add the topper, but I'm going to move it down here to the bottom of my MISTI. So let me zoom out so you can see this better. I just wanted you to see the dot, and now we got to go to the airplane mode here, airplane view. Okay, so now we're at the bottom here, and I'm going to use this image. This is the ornament topper. I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to check it to make sure it didn't shift, because I really want that to be straight. That is not straight. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. In order to get this where I want it, I'm going to tape it down onto this. There we go. It's got to be nice and flat in order to do this right. Doesn't matter. I can just put a little embossing magic on that to get rid of the sticky. Okay. All right. Yes, this is what I wanted to do. It's looking good. Okay, so I'm inking this up with Versamark. And now I'm going to stamp this one. All right. And we will add, wants to stick there, we'll add a little bit of gold onto that. And then we will emboss that. The gold is so striking. Isn't that fun? That's just so elegant and fun and bright. Love it. Now, we could either put the greeting right in there and emboss it in gold, or we could do a little pop of white. And I feel like the little pop of white is going to look so elegant, so I definitely want to do that. But before I do that, let me get the string on this one. Here we go. There's still a little stuff on there. Make sure that I tuck that down into the bottom well. Okay. And if you guys want to know how I get the adhesive off of my MISTI mouse pad, I just use a little bit of Gina K Design stamp cleaner, and it gets the adhesive off really well. And it doesn't ruin anything. I clean the lid of my MISTI with the stamp cleaner. Now I say that, but if you have a really, really old MISTI, and I'm talking about like first edition MISTI, where the grid on the lid is not laser etched, it's actually painted on, then don't do that. But if you have a laser one, and they started doing the laser grids pretty early on. So if you purchased your MISTI in the last couple of years, you probably have a laser one. You can use the stamp cleaner to clean ink off and sticky stuff off. It's really great. There you go. And it also cleans your stamps really well. All right, so there is my ornament. Liz wants you to ask me questions, I guess. She's yelling. She's yelling at you, Tom. Oh, we'll get Tom to look through those questions and see what he can find. All right, so now I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock. I had to leave for a second and go find it. Do some white cardstock, and then I am going to pick a couple of greetings here. So for one of them, I'll use Christmas wishes. And for the other one, I'll use season's greetings. I could use holiday wishes, I think. Let's make sure this will fit. Oh yeah, that'll fit. So I could do holiday wishes. So I could do one Christmas wishes and one holiday wishes. This way, if I send one to somebody who doesn't celebrate Christmas, I can still use the card because it's a snowflake. And snowflakes are great for any season. I mean, any holiday in the winter.
Any news on the blending brushes?
Yeah, I have them in my hot little hands.
What do you have?
The blending brushes. Somebody asked if there was any news on the blending brushes. I have them in my hot little hands. But we are working with a company to see if we can develop a stand. And we've got some amazing stencils coming out. So since they got here so late and we've got so many orders to get out, we decided that we're going to postpone the release of these until our next release, which is actually not that far away. I don't want to tell the girls in shipping that, though. They'll have a heart attack. Oh, goodness. All right, so now we're going to emboss this in gold. And I really think the contrast between the white and the gold and the white and the green and the white and the red is going to make a huge, huge difference. Okay, well, let's see how this looks. This H looks a little wonky, and so does the C. I might stamp these again. Why not? It's early. I don't like the way they stamped. I think I put too much pressure on it. Maybe I'm stronger than I think. So I'm going to stamp them a second time.
When is the next release?
Well, our next release, we're actually going to have a release in early December. And we always do something for Black Friday. So stay tuned for that. And I haven't exactly set the date. The release may be before December, before early December. But we know that between now and Thanksgiving, at least, maybe even beyond, because I kind of don't start really mass producing my Christmas cards until Black Friday weekend, Thanksgiving weekend, because we're home and, there's just, I don't know, seems like it's the right time. You take one holiday at a time. And you get through Thanksgiving, and then it's like, okay, I just jump into Christmas mode. And that's when I really feel like making Christmas cards, lots of them. But here, what I'm doing now, and what you guys could be doing now, is trying out all these different card designs and seeing which one you like the best. And then you can kind of pick one or two of them and decide which one you want to do for your cards. I'm going to do this one more time. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm having a little bit of trouble here. So let's try this one last time. Okay. So I'm going to press hard here and then lighten up. Press hard here and then lighten up. I think I'm pressing too hard on one side.
How many Christmas cards do you make?
Well, I usually make about between anywhere from 50 to 100. Christmas cards. I usually make about 50 to 100 Christmas cards. It just depends. So many of them I'm making now, and I do use all the ones that I make, but then I'll pick one or two of the designs and then I'll mass produce that one for the rest. And I don't know if you guys have been stamping with me since March, but when we first started doing these lives, we did Merry Monday. So there are lots of holiday card ideas. Okay, that one looks way better. There are lots of holiday card ideas that I did earlier. And, so we still have those ideas too. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my die cutting machine. And I'm going to cut this out. Now this, I don't know if you guys saw some of you may not have, but I did a live not that long ago called Die Cutting Hacks. And I showed you some different ways to get really good cuts with your die cutting machine. Well, I'm going to use one of those techniques tonight because when I cut out greetings like this, especially on warpy paper, I don't want to take any chances. So let me grab a piece of cardstock. All right, hold on. So I have a piece of Dusty Rose cardstock, and I like Dusty Rose because it's a mid-weight cardstock, and I like to do this on cardstock that's not quite as thick as our base weight. So I'm going to take this die, and I'm going to cut this die out first on this Dusty Rose. All right, so we'll cut that out. Yes, hear that cracking? That's what it's supposed to do. And then I'll just keep this for another card. I'll keep it in my little box of goodies. And then I'm going to cut this, and you could cut it with a paper cutter. I'm going to cut it with my brand new Tim Holtz scissors. Look at that cute case it comes in. You know, it's all about the the presentation. I'm telling you, these scissors are amazing, but I just love that little case. It's got its own little place to live. I had to get these, and so I not only have these, but I had to get the little ones too. Aren't they adorable? Yes, you know I love Tim Holtz. Okay, so now I'm going to put this down here, and I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape to hold it down. Hey, I'm originally from Pennsylvania too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I'm originally from Philadelphia. So's Tom. We're both Philly kids. Okay, so I'm going to lay that out so that it looks perfect. Can you see down at the bottom of your screen there? I want to lay it out so that it looks just spot on. And then I'm going to tack that down with a little bit of washi tape as well. Then I'm going to put that die in there and let it snap into place. When I feel it snap into place, then I know it's right. And then I'm going to use purple tape for this part because purple tape won't tear my paper. So I'm going to do the purple tape on top like that. Make sure that's in the groove, and it is. And then I'll do purple tape over here on this side. Okay, I know that was a thing, quite a thing to do, but I'll tell you, it makes a difference. I just love making sure, especially these, sentiments, I just love when they're perfectly straight and perfectly centered. It's just fun. Okay. So I'm going to do the next one the same way. I'm going to pull the die off because I have to see it first. See that purple tape, once you press it down hard enough, it sticks. All right. Now I'm going to line this one up. Beautiful. Okay. And then I'm going to snap this in. I can feel it. We'll do that again. It's a good die hack. It really is. It'll help. I like that nice white even edge, when you're cutting out flowers, or you're cutting out leaves or little, critters and things like that. It's just so nice to be able to center it. All right, there we go. My little frayed edges. There we go. Christmas wishes. Okay, so let me put this aside. Get rid of my die cutting machine. And now let's assemble these two cards. You grew up in Brooklyn, New York? My dad was from Brooklyn, New York. And my daughter Alicia lived in Brooklyn for a while. She went to school in the city and then lived out in Williamsburg, Tom? Is that where she lived? Williamsburg. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to put this onto a white panel. Will I ever write a book? I don't know. I don't know if anybody would read it. I do have quite a crazy history, I guess. We live out here in the Midwest now, but we love the East Coast. That's where we both grew up. So we love East Coasters. All right. There we go. Okay, so that white really sets it off nice, right? You want Merry Christmas on this one, PJ? I have Christmas wishes. I don't have Merry Christmas in this set, but I have Merry Christmas in lots of other sets. So, of course, you can always say Merry Christmas with one of the other sets. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the gold cardstock. I feel like we need some white to set this off so you can see it a little bit. There we go. Okay. Is that too bright, Tom?
Nope.
Okay, good. So put this one on here. Oh, I do like the red. The red and the gold is spectacular. Catherine, you will get an email when your order has shipped. Yes, you certainly will. That's what we do. What happens is once the order ships, in our shipping software, it will automatically send you an email with your tracking number. So then you can track it. All right, so now let's put the fresh asparagus one down. Okay. I think that's a little bit more border at the top. So do I take a chance and just trim it? Because I don't feel like peeling it apart. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go in with a tiny little bit and just shave a hair off. See, that's a hair right there. That's what color of my hair is without my hair dye. All right. So now let's put that onto gold as well. I just had to see this in both colors, and it's so easy just to stamp that second one. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the green and gold, and we have the red and gold. Which one do you guys like better? I think this would also be gorgeous on navy and silver. Okay, so we'll do holiday wishes on the green one, and we'll do Christmas wishes on the red one. Yes. Okay, so let's get a little bit of foam tape. So this is my foam tape that I have with ThermoWeb. It's pretty thin, but I still cut it in half when I do these kinds of strips. So you can see I cut this. This was a different strip, and I just saved it right on it so I can use this one. There we go. And the foam tape is cool. It comes in black and white. So if you're doing stuff on black cardstock, it's really nice to have the black tape. All right. So let's see if I can line this up well. No. I think I gotta move it over. Okay, we're gonna go right about there. I think that looks pretty straight. Straight enough, right? We'll go with that. And then I can see that I have a tiny little bit of the Dusty Rose cardstock on there. So I'm just going to take did you see it just like flip out there? It's right there. I just took my Tim Holtz pokey tool, craft pick.
Do you sell the gold cardstock?
Stick tool. Yes, we do. And I saw that was online today. So some of that must have come back in.
Tell them what the question was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tom, you need a microphone. Tom just asked me, he said he saw a question, do we sell the gold cardstock? And yes, we do. It is actually, I saw it go back in stock today. So I believe we just got some in. And I also saw a shipping notice for even more of it. So we should have quite a bit of that. Gold and silver and copper. I think the copper went back in too. Okay, so I cut another piece in half. And I'm going to adhere this one. Yeah, we have those days, right, where it just takes us forever, but it's okay. Part of making cards is the enjoyment of making the cards, so it shouldn't matter if it takes a while. It's just part of the fun. There we go. All right, so we have Christmas wishes and holiday wishes. So I definitely want to add a few sequins to these. So I have the Gina K Designs gold and silver. I'm not going to use silver. I was trying to decide if I was going to do something on navy tonight, but I wanted to use the colors that came in the kit. So I did them both in gold. So let's add some gold sequins to the mix. And what's really neat, I think, is our gold embossing powder is one shade of gold. It coordinates really nicely with our gold cardstock. It's not exactly the same color, but it's the same type of gold. You know, one's not too yellow or too orangey. And then these sequins are more brassy, so they really stand out against this soft, brushed, muted gold look. Yes, so if you're looking for our website, Tom just put the website up, GinaKDesigns.com. And then when you get there, you can click on the shop tab up at the top, and you can find all of our products. Okay, so I'm going to use some Connect glue. This is our Connect glue. But before I do that, I want to see where I want to put these sequins. So I like to test the sequins out first. I could put them there, but I think they would be really pretty just on the ends of the little snowflake points. Just the small ones, maybe. Let's try that first and see how that looks. No, I think I got to do more than that. I think I have to have them on all of them. So maybe we should go back. We could do like in here, but I like having that opening. I think I'm going to go on the edges. I'm going to do them all on the edges. Okay. So this is the Marvy jewel picker, and I have had mine for a very long time, and it's starting to lose some of its sticky. They do that, you know. It's a great tool, but I use it so much that I kind of wear things out, I think. Do you ever wear out your die cutting plates? I've done that. You just can't help it. I mean, if you use something all the time, at some point, you might want to replace it. Okay. So I don't know. What do you think, guys? Do you like these, or should I be putting them somewhere else? I don't know that I like them there. They get lost on the inside. Yeah, I guess they do. But if I put them like right in here, even though they get a little lost, wait till you see what happens when I turn it. I feel like having them on the ends there just kind of takes away from that cute little delicateness. I'm going to try this. Let's see. I'll do this one on the red and we'll see how it looks. And if it doesn't look good, we'll go on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to start putting one here. Just doing these little dots. It's a lot of glue. I don't need quite that much. So I'm kind of going out and then in, out and then in. So I'm putting the glue down first. One thing that I noticed with sequins, sometimes I'll glue and then sequin and glue and then sequin. And I struggle to get it to stick to the glue. But if you do all the glue first and give the glue a little bit of a chance to set, the glue is actually stickier this way. Now this glue goes on white, but it does dry clear. So if you, if you have it where it kind of oozes outside of the sequin, don't worry, it will dry completely clear. So I'm going to put these on first, and then I will clean up. I feel like I put that one on upside down. I did not. That was perfect. So we'll put it back. I love mandalas. I am just jazzed about this being a mandala snowflake. We do have a snowflake mandala stencil that's on order. That's coming back in soon. I know some people were asking customer service about that. And we do apologize. We know that it's frustrating when things are out of stock. We wish that there was a way to never have that happen. And, that would require a crystal ball for sure. I'll look into that. Crystal ball. See what I can find. Okay, I think I'm liking this. My fingers feel extra fat tonight. Oh, I like it. It's a lot of sequins, but it's going to be sparkly. I love sparkle and shine for Christmas cards. Obviously, I named the kit that. I think a lot of you guys do too. I see a lot of beautiful cards in our group. And if you haven't joined our group, you should check it out. We're on Facebook. It's a private group, so you don't have to worry about, showing pictures. Like I know sometimes people do scrapbook pages and they have their kids and things like that. It's a private group. We approve everybody. So if there's somebody that creates a problem, we will remove them from the group. But we really don't have that very often at all. And it's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. And it is just such a fun place to share all of your projects. And you can get so much inspiration. And you can ask questions. And our members are so super helpful and super supportive. So if you're a newer stamper or you're a seasoned stamper and just looking for a group to connect with, that one was really gluey. So I'm just kind of working the glue off with the craft pick. All right, I'm going to leave it alone and let it dry. But there we go. Isn't that fun? A little bit of sequin sparkle in there. Yeah, it was pretty without the sequins. You're right. But I just felt the need to add the bling. I'm a bling girl. And I used to use a lot of loose glitter. I don't use very much loose glitter anymore, except spotting. Like if I'm doing a snowman hat or I'm doing a Santa hat, I'll use a little bit. But sequins are nice because they're not messy. So there's the first one. Now let's just add some sequins to the second one. I could add a different color sequin. Let me see. I do have our disco ball sequins, and maybe this one needs something a little bit different to brighten it up a bit. Let's try these and see how these look. Oh, I like that. I like that. See if you can see that kind of shine in there. That's kind of iridescent, and it'll pick up whatever color you're crafting with. So I think I'm going to do the disco ball sequins on this one. And we did get a huge shipment of embellishments back in stock. So hopefully some of them are still in stock. I don't know what's in stock anymore. Honestly, I don't. I used to have such a good grip on it. And I just don't anymore. I know we have more coming of those as well. I talked to my friend who does all of our embellishments, and he said that they are almost finished being manufactured. I have to find the little video. He shows a video of how they do it too. It's pretty cool. So, yep, I like this. Okay, I'm going to go with this. So let me do my little dots again. Had to test it out and see what they look like. I'm going to try to do less gluey dots. Tinier. Yeah, the Connect glue is really good. It's good for fine detail work like this. You can really kind of get a tiny dot. It's also really good for gluing your die cut pieces together. So if you're one of the people that got the gnome kit that was available through ThermoWeb, it's great for assembling your gnomes. It's also really good for die cut words. You know, if you cut them out, you can cut a couple of them out and then you can layer them together. It gives it a little bit more loft, thickens it up a bit.
So how do you protect the sequins when you're mailing it?
How do I protect the sequins when I mail them? Well, what I tend to do, and okay, I'm going to tell you some of the cool tips that I read in our Facebook group. Some people say they turn the card inside out. They fold it like, you know, they take the card and they fold it this way. And then when the person opens it, they can fold it the right way. But you can also put a piece of cardstock on top so that it just kind of protects the sequins from getting pulled on. So that's usually what I do. I just put another piece of cardstock right on top of my card, and then it just kind of keeps everything flat. And usually the sequins arrive in pretty good shape. I haven't had too many problems with that. Some people use like a very thin film of like a spongy material, like a fun foam. You could do that as well. Or you could just reserve your sequins for the cards that you make and hand deliver, and then just make this same card without the sequins, because it was really pretty and shiny even without the sequins. My glue is getting nice and sticky now. Like that. Ooh, this one doesn't have a hole in it. Like a little jumper. I actually need a little more glue here. Let's see if there's enough. Yeah, there's enough. Okay, I really like the disco ball ones. On the green especially, because there's a hint. Well, like I said, it picks up whatever color you're using, but
What color are they?
they're called disco ball. The color of these sequins is disco ball. They've got like an iridescent to them. There we go. Okay, so here we go. You see that? That's so fun. Put a piece of embossed cardstock over my card if you think it's too bumpy. Is that what you do? Does that work? It's a good idea. See, you should be posting this in our Facebook group so people know. It's going to get lost in the comments, but that's a great idea. And you know, what's fun about our Facebook group too is you can start topics about like, how do you mail this, or how do you, and then everybody chimes in and gives all kinds of cool opinions on how they do it. So here are my two finished cards for the evening. I have this one with the gold sequins and this with the disco ball sequins. These are the colors that came in the kit, the red velvet and the fresh asparagus. And then rather than stamping in that opening, I just used the Master Layouts 3 die set, and I stamped the image and popped it up a little bit just to make it stand out. All right. Well, this was so much fun tonight, guys. I hope that you enjoyed these projects. They're super easy, and you saw how easy it was to mass produce the two of them. You can just do that, you know, and in an hour, you could have 10 or 15 of these all done and embossed and ready to go. So it makes a good assembly line style card. So speaking of hope, I do have a final quote tonight. Every situation in life is temporary. So when life is good, make sure you enjoy it to the fullest. And when it's not so good, remember that it will not last forever, and there's always better days ahead. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I love you all so much. I hope that throughout the rest of the week and the weekend, you stay healthy, you stay well. I will be back here on Monday night again with more holiday card making. And you know what? Next week, I'm going to make something that you can use as a gift, because I think that homemade gifts this year are going to be especially priceless to people. So I think next week we'll make our first holiday gift. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. I love you all so much. Mwah! And I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.